Hello and welcome to episode 4 of League of Legends Advanced Tutorial with me. I am Furion, I am your host, and today's topic will be a little bit of an all-rounder. I will pick one of my games and I will analyze it, speaking of mine as well as others players' mistakes. The game I picked was a ranked game with an average elo of 2100. Please note that this is more of an analyze than of a commentary, so it will be more educational rather than entertaining. I'll try to do my best so you don't die of boredom. Hello and welcome to my first of a series of analytical videos. I hope it won't be the last I make. Well, it all depends on your feedback. So, in this video, I will talk about mine as well as other players' mistakes. And I will literally bombard you with information. So I don't expect that you will remember everything, but if you just try to remember one or two elements that I talk about, it would be great. Okay, so let's speed it up a little bit. Oh, and one more important thing. I've decided that I won't show you the whole replay, since there is majority of replay is when players are just playing properly, taking last hits properly, positioning themselves properly and stuff like that. So I will just make a highlights of situations which were bad. So you should still have the effect of seeing a consistent video, since I will skip on the like 30 seconds fragments. Some skirmish going on with here, nothing particularly happening here. We just trading some damage and going back and healing and nothing happens. Okay, so you won't get, I hope that you will get the effect of feeling that a video is consistent. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So let's speed up it a little bit. Okay, so here is the first situation that I like to talk about. I'll pause it for a little bit. So what we have here, Olaf is waiting for a gank. Sona, Jace, Ezreal and Leona. Now let's see what happens. Blah blah blah. Now the most crucial moment was this moment. What we see here is that Leona engaged prematurely. If you want to make a successful gank or team fight, then you have to take into account two elements. First is the position of your team, and second is the position of enemy team. If one of those is bad for you, then you just don't engage. In such situation, I think that this engage was premature and it was doomed from the very beginning. But let's see what happens. Let's slow it down a little bit and let's go. Okay, so this is actually very, very proper. He's flashing, making exhaust on Jace immediately. Sona flees, which is also a very good decision. Now Olaf comes, and this is when some really, really bad things start to happen. I would propose a general guideline for you. Unless your enemy is one hit from death, then you don't tower dive. It is the worst thing you can do to tower dive. From what I've seen, the most free kills and the most number of thrown games comes from the tower dives. So in this situation in particular, let's slow it even more. Okay, so he just throws an axe, then decides to back up. What the hell was that all about? He takes 2 tower hits, and at this stage, it is very, very, very bad, because jungler will lose almost all of his HP. The trait on lanes in relation of HP is actually the same. So it was a very, very badly executed gank. So we have a question of bad timing here and a question of unnecessary tower dive. Now let's see what happens. Now, this is another very, very bad situation. He flashed under the turret, while the turret had no focus of Olaf anymore. so he was certain to take some damage. If he would like to make an animation to make a basic attack, I'm quite sure he would take 2 hits. And yeah, he forced a flash of Sona, which isn't that bad, but still it's just a support. The more important is Jace, of course. So in that situation, let's see what happens. Okay, he gets hit. And he gets ignited by Jace. Boom, first blood. Okay. So, Sona might die, but it's a close call. If you flash, if you risk that you'll die, if you ignite afterwards, you must go into an action, which is a certain kill. This was actually a last tick of ignite, so it was really, really close. Yeah. Okay. Okay, another situation I'd like to talk about is this part. Let's watch it again. I'm actually quite serious about it. Okay. Here and some bag, I think. Yeah. Okay, so what at this very moment in time, he has 2 last hits that he wishes to claim. He has half HP and I am full HP. Also, he is over halfway in the mid lane. So, as you might imagine, he will die, especially since Volibear is around. But it's not a question of bad luck that Volibear is around. It's a question of wrong decision. Since League of Legends, the ganks in League of Legends are actually the kind of a chances. Not all of them will be successful. It is depending on how jungler will play. But that's really not that important. The far more important thing is how the person who is about to gank will play. In this case, he threw away all defensive cards. Well, not all, but... well, all actually. All defensive cards that he had. He used his ooze to claim 2 last hits, while for those 2 last hits, he sacrificed his defensive abilities. So, he gets hit. I didn't think that Volibear could get him. I was sure that he was about to flash right over here. But since he didn't, he got flipped, then stunned, then hit again, then Q'd. Okay, so he dies here. So first of all, he threw away his defensive skills over here. Second of all, he flashed late. If you're about to flash, don't hesitate with it. The worst thing that you can do is to hesitate if you should flash or not. Because in those situations, in most cases, you flash too late, and it's just a wasted flash and you die anyways. Okay, and another situation over here, a mistake of mine. First of all, I shouldn't have gone any forward. I should have reacted faster by going backwards. I was hit by an axe. It was actually inevitable, so yeah, a little bit of damage, and my mistake comes here. Yeah, exactly. I flashed while being slowed. So this is actually a little bit of a panic from me. It was totally unnecessary to flash over here. It would be better for me to just die. And if I were about to flash, I should do it in order to dodge the axe. This way I flashed and I'm still slowed. If I would have dodged the axe, I wouldn't have been slowed. Yeah, and it's quite possible that I would escape. In this situation, Olaf just gets to me, throws another axe, and I'm dead. Okay. And that's it from the situation. Or of course, an Olaf. Totally unnecessary to continue fight with Volibear. in minion wave. This also that you should remember, never fight in a minion wave in levels up to 6. Not worth it. So another situation on top. I'll slow it down a little bit. So generally what happens over here? Cho'Gath is pushing and Jax is actually kinda defending. What he plays very well. He goes under the turret and last hits properly under the turret. He doesn't miss that much. Because with range minions, he has enough damage to last hit them after a tower shoots them. So yeah, that's good. But here he makes a mistake. Oh, right over here. Instead of allowing the minions to come closer, get a hit from a turret, and then last hit them, he decides to kill them instead. Now let's see what happens. Cho sees his opportunity. Yeah. And here. And ignite. And done. So I'm not sure if he dies here. No, he doesn't. Still, this call is very, very close. Same as here with Sona. But the difference between those two situations is that this one was actually risk-free. Okay, so another mistake I'd like to talk about is when I decided to go ward. This is actually fine. Let's switch to my vision. Yeah. Okay, so I put a ward over here. This is actually fine. Now, the mistake is right over here. I shouldn't have gone so far to the mid, since I have this top position warded. So I can control jungler position from here, but not from the bottom-ish direction. So let's see what happens. Yeah, I do some harass, and this is another mistake. I fled from here to here instead of from here to here. And as you can imagine, Olaf comes, ganks me, and I'm dead. My mistake 100%. Okay, so here we have another situation bottom. Actually very similar to the previous one. Once again, Leona engages prematurely, dealing some damage to Sona, blah blah blah, some flashes, ignite, this is fine. Sona flashes, and here is the mistake. Of course, during this time, Jace was very rightly focusing Ezreal. He's about to kill him. And Olaf is once again going to tower dive. Let's see how's that going to work out. Okay. Kill. That's fine. 3 hits from a tower. 3 hits from a tower is exactly 400 hit points at this point. And this is like 1/3 of his whole hit points. Now Jace does very nice thing over here. Escapes decently. And once again, let's stick to our rule. If our opponent is more than 1 hit away from dying, we don't tower dive. Because something like this can happen. Leona makes a very bad pull. Dies. Still he is more than 1 hit away from dying. Olaf engages. Misses the skill. It's not like this was the most crucial mistake. The mistake in the first place was to go to tower dive. Because 1 in like 20 last hits like that, you will misclick your opponent. It's inevitable. It's luck that it happened, but still, it's some sort of a gamble. Since Jace still has options to kill him. Now, what happens? Yeah, damage, dead. Double kill, great. And once again, we always look at our champion. Because if you don't look at your champion, things like that can happen. Bam! All he had to do was do one step to the right. Okay, this situation is a classic example of flushing for the sake of flushing. As you can see, Olaf waited very patiently with his throw of an axe. So Jax decided to flash immediately. This was a big mistake, since it didn't help in any way. He still got slowed and he will die. Still, yeah, that's pretty much it. If he wouldn't have used his flash at all, and Olaf wouldn't have used his axe throw at all, then he is also quite possibly dead. Still, in this situation, he saves his flash. So there was certainly no need to waste it. Don't use the flash just for the sake of using the flash. It's not helping in any way. Bam, and he's dead. Here is an example of how to properly use flash. If your enemy is literally one hit from dying, this is when you can flash under the turret, and do it like this. Here we have a situation of not bringing enough attention to your champion. Ez sees that Volibear is low HP, and he wants to snipe him with his ultimate. What he does though, he uses the ultimate, and for this brief moment, when he was here and he goes straight to the last hit, he didn't notice that Sona is in the brush, or that Sona is moving towards him. Now this results in him being dealt lots of damage, slowed. Yeah, he is forced to use his Essence Shift, and since I observed the whole situation, I am able to use my ultimate over here to go and claim him. Okay. And Leona dies also as the effect of this. He shouldn't have used his ultimate. If he doesn't have enough actions per minute, if he doesn't play fast enough, such action only got him killed. No advantage at all. Here is a very obvious example. Don't recall if you are close to your enemy. As simple as that. This Cho is living in a world of dreams, starts to recall over here. And he dies. Yup, as simple as that. Here we have a question of this Kog'Maw playing in a very predictable way. I have brought him to about, I don't know, 3/4 of his HP. At this point they are doing the Drake, so it's almost certain that he will go over here. Okay, so I decide to stick in those brushes and just wait for him. Yep, and here he is. So here we have a question of extreme predictability. You can't play in a way that your actions are so predictable, because this is simply a bad play. He's dealt damage, and he doesn't participate in the fight. And here he dies, giving me blue. Okay, another situation. At this stage of a game, some characters are stronger than the others. I mean, my gold advantage starts to kick in, so I'm able to kill one champion at once during a 1 versus 2 fight. Cho'Gath is over here, if I recall correctly. Yep, yes he is. So, from what I've seen that Cho tried to block my way over here. Kog'Maw tried to block my way over here, and they tried to force me, preferably to run over here. This would be a bad decision, since I knew that Cho'Gath was there. Since he already used his one of his ranged abilities, I knew that I had a straight fight in Kog'Maw, and I'm able to do lots of damage to him. Yeah, he misses his silence. I'm still fighting with the Kog'Maw. And I kill him. Now, we see that we will clearly lose this fight. Kog'Maw is full HP. Cho'Gath is, well, 3/4 of HP, but he still have twice the HP than mine, and similar to our HP combined. So, what happens that we start to lose this fight now. Now, this is a bad decision right here. right here a moment before. Since we knew that we were about to lose this fight, we should have split. So now we should have gone probably this path, I should go probably this path, and Jax should go probably this path. Perhaps with some lucky jump he would escape, stuff like that. If we just continue to run towards the base as a group, they will chase us as a group, and they will kill us as a group, so... yeah, this is what happens. Jax also dies in the process. Another example. If you know that you are about to die, you don't flash. Okay, so now we have an example of bad engage. If you engage in a team fight, you have to keep in mind two things. First of all, your team position, and second of all, the enemy team position. As I said before, if either of those elements is off balance, then you shouldn't engage. This is an example of how you should not engage. Okay, now you can see that me and Jace are going around. Sona is somewhat far, as well as Volibear is also somewhat far, while Jax engages in the midst of enemies. He ends up dying, and you are unable to give any help to him. Gets shut down. By the time we are here, he is actually already dead. Yeah, and snipe from Kog'Maw. Done. And another thing, remember, always look at your champion. Always look at your champion. Focus on your champion at all costs. Okay, to wrap this up, thank you very much for watching. As I said before, there were tons of information in this video. I don't expect you to memorize it all, but if you remember one or two elements, then I'm sure that it will improve your gameplay. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to leave a comment below and subscribe. Cheers!